Hello everyone, and this is BioPhoenix here, and today we're going to be taking a look at my very first TurboGrafx 16 game on this channel. And it happens to be a game I don't hear too many people talk about, and that is Dead Moon. And it was developed by Natsumi, and it was also published by Natsumi, and it was released in 1991. Although it is also on the Wii's Virtual Console in 2007, but I don't know if you can still access it or not, but still, at least it was on there at one point. And it's a shoot 'em up, and as you know, the TurboGrafx was known for having a lot of shoot 'em ups on that system. Also, you'd think I'd get sick and tired of playing shoot 'em ups because I had to play abundance of shitty ones from Faction 52, but oh well, at least I'm done with that shit. Also, the one thing I found to be funny with this name is that because the game is called Dead Moon, there's a character within Kagero Deception 2 called Dead Moon, and the first thing that came to my mind was him riding an airship. Yeah, I just really wanted to say that, but anyways, okay, so this is what the game's story is about, if you guys even care about the story in a shoot 'em up. So the story begins is that there is a comet that was detected near Pluto, but it is now approaching Earth, but it's going to be missing the planet by 1.2 billion kilometers. But what ends up happening is that the comet ends up hitting the moon, and after checking out the damage, they have found aliens on that moon that happen to look like skeletons. So, yeah, nothing more glorious than that. But as I said, the story in shoot 'em up games are not really the reason why you play them. So whatever, let's just go on with the gameplay now. So it's a standard shoot 'em up, you know, your spaceship, you can move up, down, left, or right, and you shoot shit. But you can get some pretty cool upgrades, like a standard spreader, which is from the color yellow, waves, which you pick up for green, laser beams, which are blue, and a circular spread, which is red. And if you pick up multiple of the same color, that upgrade will become even better. And there are two random other upgrades you can get, but they're not for when you shoot, but it's pretty much like a homing missile where every time you shoot, a random missile will just like follow a certain direction. And a circle that flies around you, which is a defensive orb. And you can get bombs as well. So yeah, so this is some pretty standard stuff, but you know what? At least this is better than every single game with an Action 52. And one thing I do find that is kinda cool with this one is that whenever the screen stops and you're fighting either a boss or a mini-boss, you know how in a lot of these games, whenever a boss is like coming like right at you and you just go under them, but yet you can't shoot them anymore because, you know, they're kind of like exactly to where you are. As soon as you go ahead of them, your ship will just turn around and you can still shoot at them. So that makes things a bit easier in some ways. And now there's only 6 levels in the game. There is City, Space, Moon, Cave, Lakes, and then finally, Core. Yeah, not a whole lot of levels, but the game is pretty damn challenging, at least for me. Then again, I'm not really good at these kinds of games, but I still have fun with them. So now let's take a look at controls. And I have to say, the controls are pretty decent. I don't have any issues with them at all, and they actually run pretty smoothly. But this game does run really fast, so of course, maybe sometimes it may be a bit sensitive, but it's still very playable at the very least. And as for the graphics, I think the graphics are actually really good. I really like the parallax scrolling in the backgrounds. And it has a lot of nice colors too, so really, nothing much I can complain about here. Although the fact that everything looks like a skeleton is kinda cool, but of course I just thought it was pretty awesome that the first boss looks like a skeleton of a pterodactyl. Now that's something I never thought I'd see in a shoot 'em up like this. And as for the music, it's decent, but not really the most memorable thing ever, but it's definitely not terrible. Although I can't find any of the music on YouTube, but I did manage to find a video where I had music in the background, so I just used that as the background music here, but still. The music is not that bad at all, at least it never got in the way of anything. And now as for the price of this game, if you were to buy a physical copy of it, well, apparently this game is a lot more expensive than I thought it would be. Apparently it goes from $60 to $80. Like, the fuck, man? And keep in mind, this is Hue card only, without the case or the manual or anything like that. So yeah, I do think this game is pretty fun, but I don't think it's like $60 fun. But if you want a digital copy, well, if you can still access the Wii's Virtual Console, there's that. And yes, the TurboGrafx 16's library isn't like huge or anything like that, at least compared to the NES, the SNES, or the Genesis, but some of the games are pretty expensive or hard to come by. So yeah, this game is pretty hard to come by, at least so it seems. I mean, I've never seen it around before. And now, if I were to rate this game, I'd have to give it a 6 out of 10. This is a pretty fun shoot 'em up, but I don't think it's anything mind-blowing. And I think compared to most other shoot 'em up games that came out around for the TurboGrafx 16 are definitely much better. Such examples like Gradius, Salamander, Airzonk, just to name a few. But still, I still think this is a pretty decent game. I mean, it is pretty fun and amusing for a short time, but I definitely don't think it's a bad game at all. Then again, I think a 6 out of 10 is at least a decent score. So yeah, it's a mindless fun shoot 'em up, that's really all it is, nothing more glorious than that. Oh man, this video feels so short compared to all the other ones I've been doing lately. Well, that's what happens when you talk about a game that isn't really all that much, but is at least pretty fun. So nothing more I can say here other than that, thank you for watching and commenting.